I think I'm on. Let me mute this in the background here. So, I'm on live. I'm on live. Welcome everybody. Thank you for joining me today. It's my first live on YouTube. See me out here. What I'm doing. This is amazing. Um, just want to make sure that I cover a couple of things, um, as far as housekeeping and everything. So, just so you guys know, gonna be starting a channel here. Not only doing lives, but I'm also gonna be doing um, podcasts and stuff like that as well. I'm getting back into doing the podcasting as well. So, definitely looking forward to doing that. We'll wait a couple minutes. I want to have some people see if I get everybody in. I see if some people are in. So we'll just give it another minute or so, guys, before we get started. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate you. For everybody that's out there, perfect. Thank you. Thank you for letting me know you could hear Ed, and thank you for joining. I appreciate that. We'll give everybody a couple of minutes. Few people hopefully will be joining us here tonight. So I won't take too long. I just want to go over a couple of things. I want to give you guys a couple of tips, things that are maybe useful, and see where this goes. Right? Appreciate it. I got the chat open. Appreciate you guys. Everybody that's logging in and joined us tonight, joined myself tonight. Hope everybody's doing well. All right, all right. So I got a couple of things for you guys. I'll go ahead and get started. Um, we got a good show tonight. I wanted to go through AI. That was my main topic. Um, Something that I noticed is we look at AI and we don't really understand how it's to be utilized and how it can actually affect us directly. So I kind of want to give you guys a couple of pointers and a couple of tips on things that may help you on a day to day if you haven't already have experience with AI. Hopefully, some of you guys have. I know some people who should be tuning in definitely got some experience. Y'all know who I'm looking at. But let's go ahead and get started, guys. Perfect. So AI, first thing, let me get. I had a couple notes too, so things is trying to make sure things are real. So first thing I had on my list was work and emails, right? So interactions with real life, with how what you guys are doing on your day-to-day basis. Which you may already know, you may have been exposed to. But first question I asked you was, what comes to mind when you think of AI, right? What are the things that come to your mind? Anything that you use it on, things like that. Um, what is it? What do you guys think? I think it is really where I'm starting off at. But um, as far as work related, right? Emails, texts, resume building, job searching. You can use AI in so many different things that I want to say a lot of people do so now, at least who I'm dealing with. So, for example, looking at how to write an email, something that we look so minuscule, something so small, writing an email. Um, am I coming across correctly? Am I? You ask you put in the input from to the AI, and it'll spit out something that may uh, not necessarily change the tone, but kind of get your point across. So that's kind of like one example, right? But these are things to think about when you're dealing with AI. So there's a lot of different types of AIs too. There's ChatGPT. Um, there's a great platform that I found called Base 44, um, which you can actually create your own apps just by telling the AI. So there's so many things that you can do with AI. Um, Let me know what your thoughts on things that you use in the comments in the chat as well, um, while you're while we're going through this video. So AI definitely uses for what? What could we use it for? Um, Resume building, like I said, you have your already standard resume. Like I said, text, email, stuff like that. Let's go with resume building. How to improve your current situation. Now, I have a little history in job developing. A little bit of my background is helping those do interviews, communicate with others, um, build networks. Basically, it's kind of in a nutshell. So that's definitely one thing. I see the chat coming through too. I'm gonna get to that. It's I'm on two screens. I gotta get another screen. This is where you guys may come in somewhere in the future, but but I'll definitely get to that. Um, well, for example, resume building, right? You can build your resume. You can build, um, for example, you can add uh, different text. Excuse me, different templates, right? So there's a lot of things that you can do now currently with your resume, but now with AI, how you're writing these points, right? How you're describing the job qualifications, right? You may be doing it great, right? But you may be able to improve by just inputting this. Am I describing this job, for example? Am I describing this uh, job description correctly? Or how do I get this particular point across, right? And when you input that into the chat GBT, into the AI technology, it'll give you the option to either change it, switch it up to make sure that you get your point across, right? All of these things, and this is just work, right? This is just one topic. In the chat, we got AI's been around for a while. It now has the green light to take over much sooner rather than later. 100%, 100%, 100%. AI is here to stay, whether we know it or not. That brings up a good something that I wanted to talk about as well, which I'm gonna show you guys some cool stuff right now. On If you can see on the screen, I'm about to pop on. Let me transition into that. There's a guy named the Diary of a CEO, right? And he talks about exactly that. You guys definitely, if you haven't followed him, follow him. He got great content. He's definitely someone who I definitely follow, but I also kind of get some information from. But definitely check that out. And I hope y'all like that, the way I transitioned that into boom right over here. It made it look like a news broadcaster. Listen, technology and things that you could learn, right? But yes, definitely AI has been around for a while. Hopefully you guys can see that on the screen. I'm not sure if it pops up over here. Um, yes, it did. Okay, good. All right. So, but yes, something that I think that we should take advantage of is AI, because of the fact, and as Ed had mentioned in the chat, right, that it's taken over rather sooner than later. So the gentleman that, as I mentioned, the Diary of a CEO, the one here on the screen, which I'm about to cut off, he speaks about basically in the next 15, 10, 20 years, 15 years, a lot of jobs are going to be obsolete, right? There's a lot of things that are going to happen with AI. It's already taking over a lot of the platforms, a lot of the things. So something that you want to look at is like I said, kind of building a relationship with AI. And if you don't know what it looks like, it's kind of like this, right? So sort of like a Google chat, looks exactly like Google. You put in what the only difference is, and I think Google and all the other platforms and everybody's catching up with it as well. But you input the inputs, you basically say what you want, and I'm going to give you guys a live demo for those who don't know, who haven't seen it, right? Because technology is a heck of a thing. Let me transition into AI really quick. Just give me a second, guys. can do this right here, and hopefully I can get into, if you see here, hopefully you can see what I'm doing there. So for example, ask AI, let's input something, and hold on, let me shorten this screen up because, um, I definitely want to make sure that you see what my mother created. Okay, now let me stop. But let's get back to it. Boom. Uh, Chat GBT, let's say ask anything. For example, tips how to write a resume, or rather, let's go to the beginning. Let's say any tips on how to write a resume. Enter. Absolutely. So as you guys see, you input the information and it's right here. It pops up on the screen instantaneously. You literally have in here. Let me zoom in just in case so you guys can see. Right? You input the information. We ask the question up here. Any tips on how to write a resume? Absolutely. She gives you the right format, as I mentioned. Keep it clean and concise, one page, tailored to the job, focus accomplishments, right? Et cetera, et cetera, right? And amazing, and amazing, and amazing, amazing. I can't stress enough technology. Now, with everything going on, we definitely want to make sure that we're careful with how we utilize it, right? Because with everything positive, there is negatives, right? So these things have access to your um, databases, your computers, right? Your phones. So you got to be wary of these things as well. You got to definitely, let me get back to the chat, make sure if you guys are on there quick. Boom. Yep. But definitely something, let me get back here. Okay, cool. So yeah, definitely something to keep in mind when you're interacting with AI, artificial intelligence. For those who don't know, I'm not trying to put past anything on anybody. I want everybody to learn. So AI stands for artificial intelligence, right? So definitely platforms that you have that do that. So for example, that's one example, work, right? Let's give another example, which is a little bit more on the, let's switch gears a little bit, something that's a little bit more exciting. Reviewing food spots, right? I'm a reviewer on Google. If you don't know, right? I do Google reviews everywhere I go, good and bad reviews. Give input on food, give input on stores, things of that nature, right? Food options. What's the best reviewed restaurant in my neighborhood, wherever you're at, right? These are things that people may already know, but also is very useful for those who come across this video and don't necessarily or never had an experience with AI. So yeah, definitely like that. Best reviewed spots. You can ask for links, right? You can ask for things that people have said, like myself, contributors who've put reviews in places that they went. How was the food? How was the show, etc. Right? So these are things to kind of think about when you're interacting with AI. And again, AI wasn't the only topic, but it was a big topic. I keep seeing a lot of things on the feed that come up with when it comes to AI and how people are interacting with it. So I felt that it was important to not only put these things together, but also to talk about ways that we can interact with it and we can engage with the technology and benefit from it in the current state. Because as we said, as the chat knows, as everybody knows, AI is here to stay. So AI is a big thing. It's something that we should be learning, just like our phones. I was fortunate enough to be in a generation where we went to the library to get a book. Look, for example, I still go to the library, just so you guys don't know. A little book that I'm rocking right now, not to get promotion or nothing, but literally you see the sticker from the library. Oh, wait, hopefully you guys didn't see that. You may know where I'm at. Woof. But yeah, definitely things that are important, right? Still going, keeping the essence and the roots where you're from, but also learning and embracing the new technology and the things that we have available is really important. That's something I personally learned myself, right? So I feel like it's as somebody who prides himself like an educator, someone who likes to share information, I felt that I should definitely let you guys know that, right? Hopefully you guys been hearing me too, because I've been talking over here, I think, more, right? And luckily I got this good mic, so hopefully you guys picking me up pretty good. But yeah, I definitely think that embracing it is very important. But as we said before, really something you have to think about. There's pros and cons with everything, right? There's good and bad with everything that comes along the way. So also keep that in mind when you're doing your research. I don't want to get into that on this topic. This ain't the video for that. But definitely, last thing, creating logos, right? Something that I just did. I got a couple logos I put up on the channel, so go check that out. By the way, talking about the channel, if you haven't subscribed, if you haven't liked, let's do that now so we can get this channel up, right? But definitely creating logos, websites, how to interact with Spotify. You want to create a business, you want to start a business, uh, put the inputs in the AI. Let them know what you're looking for, and hopefully you can engage with AI in that way too. All right. So what are your thoughts? Anybody? Let me see who's out here. Somebody's out. Um, Hold up, I gotta actually on my almost forgot to throw the stream on my TikTok. So my fault. Which y'all give me a second. 6-7. Y'all hear this in the background? Unbelievable. Guys, sorry about that. I was live on YouTube. I'm just getting on now with TikTok. Um, if you haven't already, I'm on the YouTube stream. Guys, my fault. Sorry about that. I'm logging on to TikTok now as well. Forgot I was gonna throw the live on there as well too. So I think it's been about 15, 20 minutes already, guys. So sorry about that on TikTok. I'll go ahead and add you guys in now. Appreciate you all that's there for me. Um, so yes, and thank you for bearing with me, everybody. As I said, this is the first time, the first video interactions that that I'm having. As I said before, you see the video or the link up here, Pocono's Garden. If you haven't already, please subscribe, like, share, comment. Let me know what you guys want to talk about in the future as well. Um, TikTok, what's up? Thank you everybody for joining. Um, Topic number two, right? AI. AI was the first thing, and if you guys are just joining us on TikTok, I'm letting everybody on TikTok know. We were talking about AI. We were talking about interactions, how to use it, and how to really get familiar with it in our personal lives and interact with it on a day-to-day basis, so that we can help improve ourselves and we can help move ourselves forward. So I'll be looking back and forth just so you guys know. Here's TikTok and here's YouTube. So appreciate you guys. So yeah. Uh, Topic number two, family values, structures. Definitely. Oh, hold up. I got chat coming in. Hold up. Better make AI your friend. Need to learn to use it and know when it's being used on you. Oof. Hold on. How can I like these comments? I'm definitely giving you shout out for the top fan, Mr. Ed. Definitely appreciate you. Hey, what's happening, everybody on TikTok? If you're just joining us now, we're over here on YouTube live streaming, talking about AI and the uses and how to interact with it on a day to day basis. Appreciate y'all for joining. So, yes, what we got. Topic two, as we were saying, family values. Ooh, big topic of the discussion, right? Something I wanted to talk about too. The differences, nothing too heavy. Differences. Are there more today than they were back in the days? What do you guys think? Throw your comments down below. Throw your comments on the live, on the chat. Let me know. Are the different value structures are because of the times of the day, or the way things are, the day, what they call the signs of the times? Or are there more? Are there less? What are your thoughts? Let me know on the chat. Everybody, throw your comments down below. Thank you very much for joining. Appreciate you. If you don't know, my name is Eddie, but they call me Pocono's Garden on TikTok and on YouTube. So thanks for joining again. I have my supporters live on the YouTube. Also, guys, just so you all know, everybody knows, I just created the Patreon. Um, they've been pressing me about it, so I definitely created that. Definitely appreciate if you guys join um, the live. I'm gonna have that set up too, the Patreon, everything else. I'm gonna have those links soon. So keep an eye out for that. As I said, family values, structures. There's more or less today. Let's talk about it. Also got another fun question for you guys. UPS or FedEx? What's your take? Who's better? Let's start a war out here with these packaging companies because I don't like their service really. Not really. It's USPS. USPS. I think it's USPS. It's been bothering me lately. I love y'all to death. Don't get me wrong. I don't need no feds coming knocking on my door because I insulted some some mailmen or something like that. I'm not trying to get a postal charge, y'all. All jokes aside, family values, structures, are there more or less today than back in the days? That is the question of the topic for ahora. And if you don't know, that means for now. For sure. Yeah, guys, I'm trying to start up this live, as I said. The question of the day, family values, structures, are they more or less today than back in the days? What do you guys think? Talk to me. Do we got more values today than we do back in the days? What are you guys' thoughts? Family values. Also, bonus topic, UPS or FedEx. Let's start a war with the packaging companies. Who's better? YouTube, thank you for the chat. Appreciate you all online right over there. Thank you very much. Guys, Poconos Garden, my name is Eddie. Appreciate you all for joining us tonight. If you first time, click a like, click a subscribe. Love friends, love to make friends. So thank you for joining us. But yes, as I said on the chat too, better take your AI front. You need to learn and use what is being used on you. Oof. Again, I gotta say that comment again. And Ed, he definitely put it on. Thank you for joining the live TikTok. Appreciate you guys. Sorry I was late coming into TikTok. I started up the YouTube stream and had a couple of technical difficulties we had to work through. So thanks again for joining us here. But yeah, so topic of the day, family value structures. Are there more today or there were more back in the days? What do you guys think? Throw a comment below, let me know. Throw it in the chat. I think it's important for us to discuss what you guys think. Appreciate you guys joining. Invite y'all to join the live as guests. Oh, cool. First time is live, so appreciate you all. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yup. As says, more values back in the days, less today. USPS still best pound for pound. True stuff. Okay, I could get with that. I definitely can get with that thought. More values back in the days, less than today. Okay, USPS though. I want to get to this point first. We're going to work from back, from the front back. USPS still best pound for pound. I definitely understand where you coming from. Pardon me, I got a little coffee here. I don't want it to get cold. But USPS definitely does a great job. Now, in my community, I don't know if you guys know what a community mailbox is, right? A community mailbox is where you all go to one location. They have a stationary place, and everybody goes pick up their mail from that place, right? So I live somewhere that has something like that. So in regards to getting your mail and interactions with the mail people, I definitely want to say that that part they're not lacking. You get to when they say they're gonna bring you something, 9 times out of 10, regardless, maybe the weather will change things, but they definitely will come through in that sense, right? But when we look at quality of service, right? I think that's where I would debate USPS, right? Quality of service, because for what you're paying for the service, it's very important that you get your value, right? As a consumer today, a lot of people consider value not necessarily monetarily, but they look at it as, what am I getting for my dollar, right? The bang for the buck. So when it comes to that, if I'm looking at it purely from that type of standpoint, I'm looking at it like, what are they providing? What's the service that they're providing versus what's out there, and am I getting my dollar's worth, right? So in that sense, when I'm looking at it that way, USPS definitely has been around the block. Definitely, obviously, and if you're just joining us now, we're debating USPS versus UPS versus FedEx. Anybody work there? Anybody knows? I'm live chatting on YouTube as well. What are your thoughts? Who's better? Who's the better competitor? I know Amazon. We're gonna leave Amazon out of this because Amazon is its own beast, right? Excuse me. But on the chat, I got USPS still pound for pound the best, right? Now again, as I'm saying, and I'm just reiterating for TikTok, YouTube. That's why I'm kind of repeating what I'm saying. But USPS pound for pound, I'm gonna have to say versus let's say versus FedEx. I'm gonna have to definitely go with FedEx versus UPS, right? I think there's a debate, and now I'm a little biased because I worked for FedEx for like 20 minutes of my life, right? So I know an inside perspective, and I hear a lot of stories from both of the places. But to wrap this whole convo, as far as I agree, USPS, but when we're doing the comparison, I think it's best to look at pound for pound, dollar for dollar, what we're getting. As you said, your opinion is USPS. I'm a definitely salute that. But like I said, I want to look at service, and in a community like mine, right? We don't get the package; it won't be delivered here. In the mailbox, if it's not big enough, the package may not fit. So then now I got to go to the USPS. You see how this becomes a different problem and a different way. So definitely something that I would take into consideration when I'm looking at that. Getting to the family values, I 100% agree with you, Ed. More value back in the day than they are today. We're not looking at things, and let's say just read the chat to make sure. More values back in the days, less today. 100%. I couldn't agree with you more in the sense that, and not to take away from the new generation, because I know some of y'all may be going to end up watching this video, right? Salute to you all, and I definitely want to make the youth proud and inspired to do bigger things. But definitely when it comes to values, and I'm talking about family value structures, homegrown, where did you come from, essence that built who you are today, right? The internet is raising the kids today, unfortunately. The internet, online, social media, friends around the way, that's influencing kids today. So it's up for debate, right? It's definitely up for debate when we're talking about family value structures, whether it's good or bad, whether you're looking at it that it's a good thing, whether you're looking at, well, look, it's things are changing, it's a bad thing. Either way, however you look at it, right? I think that the fact that we didn't have the internet in the back in the days, like we like to say, right, is because we had to interact with each other. We had no other choice. There was no outlet. There was no internet website that we can go to watch a movie or whatnot. We'd have to sit on TV. Which is in the middle of the living room, right? We had to turn it on, and now you don't know who's in your house sitting there. If somebody else gonna watch it, and they may not want to watch it, right? So there were things you had to consider, right? So the value had to be, and the structure had to be solid in order for you to even decide what television show you want to watch. Right? Something so simple, which we take advantage of today. Everybody pulls out their phone and then, I watch whatever I want right now. I throw on the iPad, I throw on the phone. We all go watch what we want to watch, right? But I agree. I have to agree in the sense, again, and Ed, you on the roll. Appreciate you even joining me tonight, man. It's definitely you want to roll when it comes to family values, and I don't mean it in a malice way. I mean that. Back in the days, we were put in a position where we had to interact with each other, and we had to come to agreements. We had to come to, or if not, we wasn't gonna get nowhere, right? So definitely, I'm gonna agree on that topic for sure. When it comes to family values, got another chat out here. USPS offers other services, passport, military. That's another thing too. You see, I didn't make that point, and I'm glad you brought it up because that goes along with exactly what I'm saying when it comes to value, right? Getting the bang for your buck, getting the value for your money, right? The other services that they provide also may very well push the scale, right? Very well push the scale in the direction of like they may be the best. And hold up, watch out for the branding. We want to make sure on all the channels that we're not giving free promotion. You may know the logo, but be careful because I need a promo. I need to get a paid sponsorship. We don't do this stuff for free. Well, for you guys, yeah, but not for these companies. Chill out. And by the way, this was a recycled cup, so it's not the coffee from that place. I'm just want to be cool. Just teasing. All right, y'all. And anyway, they got good coffee. If you know the company, if you know the brand, it's pretty decent. Old school's a century old. New school is only 25 years old. Woof, man, preach, preach. Listen, man, I'm about to get this gentleman right here for an interview because he definitely knows what he's talking about right here. Old school is a century old. New, let me see what it said. Oh, I'm gonna make sure I'm reading it right. Old school is a century old. New school is only 25 years old. Definitely, definitely. I'm not gonna chalk up the new school because I definitely know some people who doing big things in the new school who have great creative minds, who make me proud for the future. Right? I definitely want to shout you guys out, but I'm gonna have to go again. Yeah. Old school had time to marinate. Right? The old school had time to marinate. The youth, you still building it, right? It's no knock to nobody, right? You 25. He said, what did he say? 25 on the YouTube chat, everybody. 25, right? If you're 25 and below, or just right around there, under 30, basically, you definitely got a lot of time to build. You could be real successful right now. And I'm not understating that, but the experience when it comes with those who actually have, like he said, the old school is a century old. We're talking about a century, what, 100 years? Woof. We're talking about somebody that's put 25, a quarter of a century is 25 years, right? So, yeah, I have to agree with that. Throw it, like I said, guys, definitely throw it in the chat, guys, over here on the YouTube, guys on the TikTok. Appreciate you all if you're stopping by. But let me know. Let me know, what do you guys think, old school or new school? What's your interactions like? Yeah, throw it down in the chat there, and TikTok if you're joining here tonight too. Thank you very much, and I appreciate you guys as well. Sorry, I just got to. I'm keep interacting. Chat's going. We going on the chat here and on YouTube, so I keep looking that way because it's coming up. But what are you guys' thoughts? Old school, new school? As a great point was made on the chat here, old school is definitely a century old. New school only 25. You got people out that's been doing this for a little while. It's things, people that we learn from. So very important things to look at. Okay, topic 2. I think we really did it justice. Topic 2: family values, structures. Right? Are they more or less? We said, I'm thinking that family values now, and then we talking about today versus back in the day. So family value structures back in the day, I think takes the cake. Definitely wins when it comes to the vote on YouTube. When it comes to those who looking, like I said, throw in your comments below. Let me know what you guys thinking. If you haven't subscribed already, I am on YouTube. I'm gonna throw it up here. Dag, I don't know if I could throw it up on the chat. I'm gonna throw it up again on the YouTube for you guys. I gotta figure out how to do this, man. TikTok, you be limiting me, man. I need like subscribers and stuff from you or something like that. Talking like we're totally gnarly, dude. No, but on the real, let's see what we got here. Let's go next time. But old school, I think, knocked that out. So one thing. Oh, let me show you guys this thing real quick. I'm on the chat here on YouTube. It is called, and this is for all my my people who like apps and stuff like that. You ever thought about creating your own app? Check this out right here. And this ain't no promotion. So like I said, I don't do free promotion, but I keep seeing this come out when it comes to ads and stuff. This is one of the things that come up, and I looked at it and it looked pretty cool. I haven't messed with it, but if you guys get any thoughts on it, let me know. I don't know how that works, but yeah, definitely it's pretty cool, that base 44. But here I'm streaming live here on YouTube. Thank you guys for keeping up. If you guys are still here, TikTok as well. We live on TikTok as well. Thank you guys for joining. If you haven't already, trying to build up the fan base. So if you haven't subscribed, like, subscribe. Got chat going off here. Thank you very much. Let's see what is happening. And this is live, baby. I got a couple topics, like I said, I wanted to talk about, which we got into a few of them already. But if there is some stuff that, or if there's something that I know, I want to make sure that YouTube knows too, and the whole world, and the chat, and everybody else. So let's see. Let me define AI. What did I have there? Yeah. Anyway, let me throw this back up here, right? Boom, real quick, just so you guys know. Pocono Gardens. If you haven't, follow me. I'm also on TikTok. Got a Patreon. I'm starting a Patreon as well. So appreciate all the love. Let's see what's going on. Views. I'm going between the two. And let's see here. Everybody that's joining live on TikTok, thank you. I'm streaming here on YouTube. Just making a couple of adjustments. Thank you guys for joining. But yeah, this is how it goes. Just going through the chat. Thank you guys. Appreciate it. Yes, sir. Next topic. Let's see. Before we go on, like, subscribe, comment all your ideas down below. You know how those promoters do it. I'm my own promoter, so I don't pay nobody to do that. So I tell you right here, right now, boom, you see the box that just popped up on my magical screen, right? It didn't just pop up, but you know it was there. But that is where my channel is. I'm trying to put up some funny content too, so I'm trying to clown around. I got a little bit of time on my hands, so I want to make sure that I get and I gotta practice staying in front of this mic, because I feel like since I'm talking this way, I'm walking away from the mic. I want to walk towards what I'm talking to, right? So don't worry, we're gonna get that all right. We're gonna get everything right, the specs and everything. This ain't the first time, and this is the first time, but the show ain't the last time, guys. Thank you everybody for joining. If you haven't already, throw a like at me, check me out. I don't even think I got my name and stuff set up over here on the TikTok, so pardon me, guys. See, as you guys see, I'm live over here on TikTok as well, right? So let me see real quick. Pardon me, guys. Thank you everybody for joining. As I said, just bear with me for a second. I'm trying to make sure this is the first live stream. Make sure it's all successful. I know it's recording on my side over here, so I just want to make sure that I'm getting people's opinions, thoughts, likes, comments, and everything on both sides. Not only on not only on YouTube, but also on TikTok, right? Trying to show love everywhere. Mirror on the wall. All right, I'm gonna put this back up. I don't know, TikTok be bugging out sometimes, so I'm just gonna go ahead and chalk it up to technical difficulties. So if you are following us, if you can't see us, throw it in the chat. I don't see. I feel like I see a whole bunch of people joining, but it doesn't show me that there's anybody still there. If there is somebody there, I appreciate you throwing it up. Not sure if it's just a delay on my end, so appreciate it. And again, YouTube, thank you very much for bearing with me. Thanks for joining us tonight. It is 8:44. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and call it at 9. I know you guys it's a Tuesday. I just wanted to get a test run in and really get things started up, and you know what they say, get my feet wet into this game real quick. But yes, video action browser. Let me take that off of the screen. How you like my setup? You see my setup over here looking Gucci. Got the mic ski, got the mix board, right? For all y'all watching on the YouTube, I don't know, you can't see it on the. Let me put you on the TikTok. Let me put you. Set the boy up. Yes, sir. Ski. Got the mic ski, right? The Altura. Got my notes. Don't be. It's hot. Don't be peeking. That's me in the background. But don't be peeking. I'm giving TikTok an inside YouTube. So relax. You know what I'm saying? There may be like 1 or 2 people here. So let me just at least put. But look, got my setup here. Don't tell them how I do what I do. All right. I got a little cheat sheet right there too. So, but appreciate you all if you're joining me now. I'm live on YouTube. And was talking about AI, family values, things of that nature. So I wanted to include my TikTok as well. So Thank you for joining if you are there. One love, big W to you, whoever's in the chat right there. But yes, YouTube, like I said, I got the little setup, hooked the stuff up. Oh wait a minute, there. I don't even know if YouTube could hear me, was hearing me right now. My fault, my fault, YouTube. Um, we back at it. I was just talking to TikTok. I was trying to include them in the conversation as well, because I'm trying to build the following on there as well. So if you ain't following, please subscribe. Throw a like in there. Just show the love to everybody. It doesn't hurt to like somebody's page. Love you all. Thank you again. And also, let's see what we got. Oh, chat just came in. What's going on with you? Yo, Lex, appreciate you joining, my brother. Thank you, man. Growing up lessons were taught by family. So we got the convo going on. Growing up lessons, Ed, thank you. Growing up lessons were taught by family, friends, church, school, and community. Now teaching is optional and barely being done anywhere. Oof, that's definitely a fact. Let's see. Growing up lessons were taught by family, friends, churches, schools, and community. Now teaching is optional and barely being done anywhere. Oof, I definitely see where you're coming from with that. I think that a lot of people, and again, I think the conversation we had about AI, right? A lot of people are looking at other resources and other ways to do things. So so TikTok, just letting you know, we were talking about AI, how to engage uh, work, how to use it, resume building, etc. But then we changed topics and we went into family values and structures. So I got the chat jumping off in YouTube saying, growing up, they were taught, families were taught growing up, lessons were taught by family, friends, churches, schools, and communities. And now it's kind of barely being done anywhere, which is like community not community gathering, I'm sorry. When we talk about community policing, community teaching, these are things that we really got to take into consideration, right? So, family values, Chad is saying, back in the days, they got the values. They're the ones who had the structure. We kind of got into the topic of back in the days versus now, right? The values had a lot to do with it, had a lot to do with how you engage with internets now, how the youth, the 25, the quarter century was mentioned. So century versus somebody 25 years, 25, 30 years old. They definitely interact with things a lot differently, right? They have the internet. Back in the days, I got on the chat. We're talking about going to the library. We're talking about actually learning things in a different way. And even the simplest thing about changing the channel on TV, right? We had to come to the agreement. Your brother, your sister, your cousin, your mom, your dad, forget it. That was the authority. That was the guard. If if you if they didn't want to see what was on the TV, or if they wanted to watch something, it's over. Nobody's watching nothing on television, right? Versus now, everybody's pulling out the phone, everybody pulled out the iPad, everybody's pulling out the Mac or the laptop, everybody's pulling out whatever. They got their own devices. Everybody's sticking to their own devices. Like that's something they literally say. Stick to your own devices. So the value has changed. A lot of the interactions with technology has changed the way that we interact, not only with our surroundings, but with each other. So it's ill. It's a real big topic, man. Throw your thoughts in the comment. Definitely let me know what you guys think about that. Anything on the chat live. Thank you for joining if you are live here. But I agree. Good, definitely some good input, good convo. For sure. I think the structure. What do you think, Lex? Where you at? You still there? Let me see what he said. What comment you threw over here? You throwing over here? You throwing emojis? Hold up, son. What's this? Mind blown. No, let me stop. Appreciate you, man. Thanks for everybody again for the participation and for the chat. If you don't know, if you're just joining us now, we're talking about family value structures. Who has different old school and new school, right? Family values. Who got more or less today than back in the days? Which one? Who's dealing with more values? And I got chat over here on YouTube for you guys joining us here on the TikTok. I got YouTube chat said old school for sure. Obviously, old school is 100 years old. New school 25 years old. So they're saying that 25 and below, 25, 30, right? You're just learning now. You have a better interaction, and I'm gonna give I'm gonna give I'm gonna say for sure I'm giving y'all the benefit of the doubt and saying, a matter of fact, no, I'm giving you the edge and saying that the youth has the interaction with technology down, right? I was blessed. I'm an 80s baby. I was blessed to be in both worlds. I was blessed to be in uh well, we had to go to the library, but also when the internet's created, and right, we in the mix of that, we in the in the midst of these things until we are till present day, right? So I'm gonna have to give that to the youth when it comes to that. They look, AI. Well, this is the topic we're talking about on YouTube. This is the topic that we're having, the conversation, discussion we're having on YouTube. Um, AI, you guys got that on Smash, right? No, none of the youth, I think, are gonna lose when it comes to the technology. So that's something that those who already think they got their edge, they already got their footing, right? You're gonna have to reconsider how your stepping is, right? How your how do they call that? How you're wedging yourself, how your stepping is, or whatever they call that, to the world. You definitely want to look at these things. What we got? All right, cool chat. Appreciate you all. Um, hey Chris, what's up? If that's my sister, oh man, I miss you, sister. Love you. Appreciate you joining us for tonight. We definitely catch up offline, but appreciate you coming in. But yes, definitely, we're talking about AI. We're talking about family values. What's going on? Excuse me, got some tea. I'm I'm trying to stay, not get. Oh shoot! Wait a minute. Here go the promotion and again. Watch out. Watch how I place the cup. Remember, I gotta watch how I place the cup. I got the YouTube over here. Got the TikTok over here. We're not trying to do product placement right now. I apologize. I just want to take a little sip of some hot drink. Thank you for joining. If you're joining us today, YouTube again. Growing up, lessons were taught by the community, the churches, the schools, and families. Now it's a little bit, it's optional and it's barely being taught. That's what YouTube chat is saying. What's your guys' thoughts? Throw it in the comments, throw it in the chat down below. If you are joining us tonight, appreciate it. Thank you for joining. If not, Reyes, I hope Reyes Camacho. I just saw the name come up. Hey, listen, that's my name too. Salute, if you in there. But yes, I absolutely agree. I gotta say, there's pros and cons, but like I said, I was talking to the TikTok, YouTube. You was there too, obviously, because where you going, like what's going on. But as I was saying, definitely the youth got it at this point, right? And as someone who prides himself to, someone who interacts with the old school, who has, I want to say, a foot in kind of both of the worlds, being an 80s baby, being someone who went to the library, did the knocking on doors to go play outside thing, but also interacting with the internet, doing this now to the current state where we're discussing on YouTube AI, and how we can interact and how we can make that work for us. So if we're talking about these things in the transition, right? I'm gonna have to give, being that I'm on both sides of the spectrum. Pause. I mean, I don't mean it that way, and when I say pause, and I meant to say stop. But what I meant was, right, not being on the spectrum, and I don't mean no harm, because I work in the mental health field. So if you know me, you really know who I am. And get to know me. If you don't, love you, like and subscribe, play, throw your comments below. You have to know. But as I was saying, the definite thing that you want to do is make sure that I was saying, excuse me, let me get back into what I was saying. The old school versus the new school. I got to give it to the youth when it comes to the interactions, and being somebody from the generation of foot in the no technology, have a foot in the technology. The youth, the way that they're interacting with it, they definitely got it down packed. When it comes to experience, when it comes to how to interact, when it comes to the social capabilities, interacting with each other, things like that, family values, things that we were talking about now, structure today versus back in the day, I'm gonna have to lean a little bit more on the old school for that one, guys. Unfortunately, what's your comments? I don't know if we're not trying to start a war here, only with UPS and FedEx and everybody else. I'm just teasing. I'm teasing. But for sure, Appreciate that. Guys, we got, what is it? 8. It's getting late now. I want to call chat in 5 minutes. I got a couple more minutes, man. I want to let you guys go. As I said, I was just running this kind of like a test run on the YouTubes, and then also um, on TikTok. And TikTok, I promise you, if you are on there, I promise you guys that I will most definitely um, include you guys for the beginning of all moving forward, all of our chats and all of our live streams and anything that we engage with. All right. Thank you for joining. Thank you for participating as well. So I just wanted to stop and give a shout out to TikTok definitely as well. So all right, y'all. Let's see where we at. We got a couple more minutes. I think let's go. Let's get. Come on, I got my notes. Let me throw the notes up real quick. Boom, boom, boom. So, dun, 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 dun. Yes, 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 for sure. Create logos. You can do a lot of things with AI. Just so you guys know, create logos, websites. As I said, interact with Spotify websites, a whole bunch of different things, for sure. But guys, thank you very much. Like I said, I didn't want to keep you guys for too long, but thank you for joining us tonight. Um, if you haven't already, like and subscribe. Throw me a comment of people that have been commenting. Thank you, chat. One love. I'll see you guys on the next one. But if you haven't, like I said, like and subscribe. Chat, TikTok. Thank you very much for those who joined, those who slid by. Um, we're gonna grow that channel too. We're gonna let you guys know. We're gonna get you guys in. So appreciate you guys. Thank you all. I was gonna get into real quick, but I just checked the time. I wanted to make sure that I respect you all guys' time as well, right? But AI family values, I think the winner is old school on family values. AI, if you haven't already, try to interact with it. Make sure that you guys try to learn some things with it. See if it helps you out. Send an email, throw a text next time you use it. Check it out. But also keep in mind the positives, the pros and the cons, right? Like we talked about. So appreciate it, guys. Yo, thanks again, chat. Yo, D, appreciate you for joining, brother. Thank you, man. One love. Good seeing you, man. Call me. I'm available this week, fam. So come through. All right. Ed, thank you again. Appreciate your input and your comments and your questions. It definitely helps out.